Welcome to another episode of Ruff Talk VR, a weekly podcast with in-depth game reviews, exclusive developer interviews, and the latest MetaQuest and virtual reality news. We join our hosts, the father-son team of D. Scruffles and Stratus today, as they spend another episode breaking down and discussing the world of virtual reality.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Ruff Talk VR, coming at you with another edition of VR news. And don't worry, this won't be the only episode this week. I know we've kept you all hungry the last 2 weeks.
Dude, we got a lot going on in the background.
Yeah, I'm excited
It's just
for
a weird time right now.
2024 has been an exciting year for us over here at Ruff Talk VR, but don't worry, we're not forgetting about you. This week, we do have more than just news. We'll have a second episode featuring an interview this week. So for those of you that have been hungry for more content, we've gotten some.
Who can it be?
Yeah, we've gotten some messages, some comments saying, yeah, where's the second episode? So if you're not, this week we're coming at you with 2. And also today, plenty of VR news.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny the way the news cycle in VR goes. It was probably like around Wednesday last week where I was like, wow, it's going to be a quiet news week on Monday. And then all of a sudden, now I have front and back page of notes to talk about. It's funny the way it goes. And one of the coolest things that I saw last week was Walkabout Mini Golf. Well, Mighty Coconut, the studio behind Walkabout Mini Golf, they announced a upcoming licensed course that they'll be doing in 2025. That's going to be an Elvis Presley course.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I was expecting.
Just a whole lot of mini golf going on.
I cannot wait to see that one. So
it's wicked cool.
That's going to come sometime in 2025. I'm sure at the same cost as all of their other DLCs, their cup of coffee price.
And it's specifically the Las Vegas Elvis, correct?
I mean, come on, is there anything else to do? That's the focus for me.
So it's going to be real interesting.
If you're going to have the most creative fun making a Elvis course, you're going to really lean into that Las Vegas. I mean, he really wrote the script for that image.
Yeah, his residency there, whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, there was not an Elvis.
He played in our city.
A lot of people did. In Springfield?
Twice. Yeah, he played.
A lot of people played in.
They had him booked for a third date, but he passed away because he was supposed to do 2 days in a row and he couldn't. So they're like, we'll come back in a year. And then he passed away.
That's why when people come to the city, I go and see him because you never know. But nonetheless, so besides the actual Elvis course, which I'm so hyped for, like you said, I think it might be the Las Vegas Elvis. Hopefully it is, though. Besides that, they also announced that they'll be launching avatar packs for $1.99.
Nice.
Typical Mighty Coconut affordable pricing. These are completely optional.
Dude, my coffee went up 10 cents last week. I'm paying $3.30 now for an extra large.
$1.99 for licensed avatar packs. And these avatar packs is going to be stuff like Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock is getting an avatar pack for $1.99. There's also going to be an Exploding Kittens collaboration avatar pack for $1.99 and an Elvis pack for $1.99. And these are completely optional.
I'm getting the Elvis pack.
Without a doubt.
Exploding Kittens, no. And Fraggle Rock, no.
Without a doubt, I'm getting the Elvis. The other ones, we'll see. But I like the way they're doing this. $1.99 is so affordable.
I can't wait to play the course and pretend to be Elvis.
That's why I have to get it.
The best.
My avatar is going to be my avatar is going to be Elvis even after this course. Like going forward, that's going to be a tough one to
be awesome if they had a Frank Sinatra course. Hey, baby, it's your shot over there. Put the ball in the hole.
And man,
I'm going to have way too much fun with this Elvis course.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there right now.
Getting into character with it.
Nobody's going to want to play with me.
And for $1.99, they keep it affordable. And I like that these are completely optional. Some people, they like the avatar element. And they, for them, this is a must buy. Some people, they don't really care.
It's affordable.
But not everybody really cares about the avatar swag. So it's not something that they forced into the courses and then up the course price to, $6.99. And now it comes with these avatars that you might not care about. For people that care about the avatars, super affordable. For $1.99 to be Elvis in Walkabout Mini Golf, sold.
For what it's worth, I don't see a lot of companies ever taking the other route of like raising the price on something to force you to get even Pop 1's the best example. Give you a bunch of characters, the unlockables that you can earn. And then, of course, if you want to spend, what is it, like $10 now?
Well, I'll actually say Pop 1's a great example of how to do it bad at a certain point because they lost us on buying skins.
They started pricing it too high.
So to kind of make the analogy and Pop 1, there was a point where we were buying every skin because they were separate. Like you could buy it either just
I think
the skin,
originally you get the skin for like $3 or $4.
or you could buy the skin with a bunch of guns and like kind of bundle it together. But there reached a point where they stopped offering the skin separate. And the only way to get the skin was by buying the bundle.
Although I'm pretty sure now you can
Correct.
buy the skin again.
But there was a point, and
it's
that's
still not at the price point that was.
No, but that's the point that we got, where we stopped picking up every skin in Pop 1 was when we were forced to buy the bundle. That would be like if Walkabout Mini Golf. That's why they're doing it right. If they blocked their courses behind being forced to buy all the avatar packs in a bundle as well, too, they would lose people, but they're doing it smart. $3.99 for the course, and optionally, if you want, $1.99 for the avatar packs. And I'm sure they can.
Although if they bundled balls and clubs for the courses, like, hey, for an extra $2.99. You won't have to look for any of the balls.
As long as it's not forced.
No. I'm just saying. I'm saying like if they just charge $2.99, I bet you they'd make a killing on it.
Oh yeah, but they're doing it right by not making it that you have to. You have to buy them all to get the course.
Don't see a lot of companies doing the alternative to that, which is good. But what's getting me about the Walkabout is their price point, which is it just makes me laugh because it's like the DLCs. It's like $5. You get yourself a new course.
Less. $3.99,
yeah.
$4, after tax. What's that? $4.21 or something like that, depending on what state you're in. Dude, so affordable. So huge props to Walkabout Mini Golf, and I'm sure with the avatar packs, they can see the popularity of them to decide if it's worth to do a full course on. If nobody buys Fraggle Rock,
a full course.
So because right now Fraggle Rock isn't getting a course, it's just an avatar pack.
Yeah.
But if if a bunch of people buy Fraggle Rock Avatar, I mean, clearly there's interest in that IP and it's worth it to do a DLC on, versus if nobody buys the Avatar pack. I mean, is there really interest in that IP to make a full course? Not as much. So they can potentially use that to gauge interest on IPs for future courses as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to look at it. In my head, they do what they want, or they're just leaking out what they're planning on doing anyways.
Well, they even said
regardless of. Because let's be honest, they never sold avatars, right? Like that.
I don't think so. No,
the licensed packs. So I don't think it changes anything as far as like if nobody buys it or not, which we know is impossible, dude. Some people are genuinely like wicked excited for Fraggle Rock. It's going to be older people.
Oh yeah, so. I think that one's going to be a high selling one. I think that's going to be. The most popular of the avatar packs.
I think Elvis will outsell them all.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Do you think they'll do a bundle with the avatar in the course when it drops? Let's see. But they did say in the press release that, the avatar packs doesn't mean that they're getting a course, but they'll monitor the results of it.
Wink, wink.
So to me, it's like, hey, you get some little market insight on the popularity of an IP before you fully commit to it. So
that's tough, dude, because
I'm not going to say that's the only thing they're going to base their decision on.
If they did that with other courses,
you don't know if you would buy the avatar pack.
Well, I'm just saying, who knows, like corporately, if they would have gone and made the course, and like everything they put out is good, even the ones that, upside down.
But that's not
my preferred method. No, but I'm saying, like, how the reception to it wasn't as overly greeted as, but they know that and they do it anyways. So it's like in my head, Mighty Coconut does whatever they want as far as like, it doesn't matter. Nothing's changing their direction. And we know they're so planned far ahead, too.
And that's the counter to them using the avatar packs to dictate future courses. I don't know if I would have bought a Labyrinth avatar pack, but I love the course.
You would have, though.
I don't know if I would have. Because I wasn't big into the IP before. Prior to playing the course, I don't know.
Come on.
So I don't know how accurate it is to use as...
I'd love to see them actually never make the courses for the avatar packs and just keep riding and go totally left field with the avatars and stay in the direction they're going with the courses. Because think about it. What if they did a Princess Bride? You'd be Andre the Giant. You know what I'm saying? It's like they could still do a totally different thing and then just have it so it incorporates into their course, but not have to make a course ever for that IP.
We need to get a Coconut on here and interrogate them a bit about what their future plans are with this licensing.
We need to get Michelle on.
Yeah, we need Michelle back on.
Yep, one-on-one.
No doubt.
Because that's and we need to book like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
It's funny how much we speculate about what the future direction of Walkabout is, and they come out of left field. The reality is never what we're expecting.
Every time we talk, I'm sure they sit in the office and just laugh. They're like, you guys are so... You couldn't be more wrong.
I would not have guessed Wallace and Gromit. I would not have guessed...
Oh, dude, that was a good move.
I would not have guessed Elvis. You know, Powerwash Sim, they put out the SpongeBob SquarePants DLC. Imagine a Bikini Bottom Walkabout DLC. A SpongeBob one, that one could be a big hit. But
dude,
that's
if they
a tough
took it
IP.
in the cartoon direction, that would be... I mean, what if they grabbed The Simpsons, right? Because nobody's... Dude, that almost screams Walkabout.
If we ever...
I still stand by my argument with Willy Wonka. That one's a no freaking brainer. Just the colors alone.
If we ever run out of things to talk... Not run out of things. Like there's a week without not much news... Let's just skip the news and spend the whole episode speculating on Walkabout mini golf direction.
Run Walkabout for a day. I'm down. Dude, we always love spending their money.
Yeah, we love speculating. And again, but as much as we speculate, the reality is never what we expect.
Sooner or later, though, just like Nostradamus, if we make 1,000 predictions about what they're going to do,
we're going to sound like geniuses.
Eventually, we're going to hit one that's going to be right.
Just ignore everything else that we said that never...
That's just the gray area. That's happened. The lead in. That's the stretch before the true. But I'm excited for everything they're doing, dude.
Yeah. A 2025, their plans are already being laid out.
Family Guy course.
Yeah, so much potential. We say this all the time.
Ren
so much
and
potential.
Stimpy.
So huge props to Mighty Coconut for their licensing division. Constantly pushing the envelope.
Toy Story.
Yeah. So much potential.
Oh, don't even get me started, dude. Yeah, I want to do a whole episode. Let's do it. We'll just talk nothing but Walkabout.
Yeah, totally doable.
Okay.
So, and then, we did reference 2 other games that have pieces of news as well. I referenced Powerwash Sim. They're getting a new Back to the Future DLC as well. So that's cool.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And then Pop One, they announced a new Phoenix Battle Royale mode that's going to come June 6th. But they're going to have a 3-day preview weekend starting on May 31st. And it sounds like, when Contractor Showdown came out, we had called it Adult Pop 1. Like they took all these elements from Pop 1 that worked good and, refined it and made it their own thing. And this Phoenix Royale mode, based off of what they said in the press release, sounds like, they looked at what worked good in Contractor Showdown and said, all right, you want to play that game? Here's a little piece of the money. It references like loot boxes. And, I'll pull up the whole press release in just a moment, but it sounds like some elements of Contractor Showdown they're bringing to a new game mode in Pop 1. So I'm really excited about this. So as part of the update, they announced several new pieces of content. They call it a brand new full-size Battle Royale map released for the Phoenix game mode. And they say that there's a new Phoenix Royale redeploys. They describe it as downed and away from your squad. No worries. Get back into the action and rejoin your team with Phoenix redeploys. And so it sounds like it's going to be a different system besides the, charge up your hands and touch. Then there's going to be supply crates and buy stations. That's the most Contractor Showdown-y thing it sounds like on this whole list. And then, because it says that you'll be able to buy health items and backpacks, supply drops, weapon upgrades, and class buffs. That's interesting. Classes, I never remember classes in Pop 1 before, so that sounds like a new element. And then there'll also be loot vaults at the beginning of each map. Loot vaults will be randomly activated around the map. And then it says destroy brewer bots defending these locations and capture the objective points to open special supply crates containing high-level weapon items and lots of gem bars. For people like me and you that are really good at just surviving and navigating, I feel like that's going to be really good for our play style because we're not always running into the center of the map and getting into firefights with the whole map like some people do. So this will give us something to do as we're, being rats around the edges of the map and staying alive. And then it says that there's a new squads-based mode, meaning a new shifting end zone mechanic. So the final zone of every squads-based mode will now randomly shift location around the map. And then there's a new sprinting mechanic coming to all Pop 1 modes, not just the Phoenix mode. So, whole bunch of changes coming. I'm so excited to hop into this one May 31st as well.
Yeah, can't wait to play it.
Shoot up some little Timmies. I'm just worried that it's going to be so drastically different that our Pop 1 experience won't carry over as much, but let's see. So huge props to Big Box because, again, I thought Contractors really came out and did what they did, but in a lot of ways better. And now they're coming out and saying, let's do the war. Also, I will say, too, we've been playing Pop 1 a lot the last 2 weeks. We talked about this last week, too. And, there's starting to be some elements I do like more than Contractor Showdown. And I think it's partially because I win in Population 1. And I don't necessarily win in Contractor Showdown. You've been getting a lot more kills than me in Contractors. Like I can get out 5 or 6 kills in a game. Contractors, I'll get a revive. Like I bought insurance and I'm coming back into the map.
No, I like each one for what they're bringing to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I said it. I'm like, Contractors to me is just like adult Pop 1 to me, But as the audience is growing, I'm realizing that it's basically attracting that same player base.
Yeah,
you can hear it in the voices, and
I think Contractors is a little bit more toxic than Pop 1 now.
Fucking 1,000,000%.
That little moment where we're in that ship,
unnecessary too, and that's I guess if one were to argue, like as a parent, if you were going to choose a game for your younger one to play, not that we love getting squatted up with a third that's a little kid, but let's be totally honest. We typically give the kids the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, dude, we had a not bad one.
More often than not, the thirds we get, sometimes they need a little level check. Remember Dorito?
Mm-hmm.
But the one we got the other night, man, this kid was
better than most adults.
He could grab ammo like I have never seen a Pop 1 player play.
He gave me like 800 assault rifle ammo.
Dude, it was ridiculous.
Probably won the match
30.
because of him.
I was starting to wonder. I'm like, did he cheat? Like,
no, I think he was just running around grabbing stuff.
You talk about a scavenger. He got no kills, but he was on point.
Again, might have won because of him.
No, we definitely did.
Because there was a point where I had 30 ammo, 20 ammo. You had 20 ammo, and he's like, "Here's 800."
This kid knew how to play. He knew how to play as a team.
I remember I gave you half of it, 400, and you're like, "Dude, I don't need that much."
Yeah, the game's ending quicker than I'll ever fire these rounds.
And I was like,
mathematically,
I was like, "Well, what the hell am I going to do with it? You take it. I don't need
him." Yeah, no, that kid. I wish I could remember his name.
Yeah, that was a good round.
He was great. He's got good parents, man. They did a good job.
I'm kind of ping-ponging, man. At first, I was like, Contractor Showdown, you know what? They're doing all this stuff from Pop 1, and I think it's better. But now, after hopping back into Pop 1, man, I'm having so much fun with Pop 1.
I like the arcadiness of Pop 1 for that experience. Like, you're not going to jump. Well, soon now we'll be sprinting, which is kind of cool. But I like that arcadiness. I like that I can climb everything. I like the whole flying mechanic. Contractors, I mean, I like the realism aspect. It has more realistic feel to it than, especially with weapon loading and upgrades and attachments.
The actual shooting and aiming. Like my accuracy in Pop 1 is so sharp because it's there's no bullet drop, nothing, Yeah,
and the recoil is not as severe as
I feel like
Contractors.
Ghosts of Tabor has been a training camp for both of those games.
For shooters?
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, if you crush it in Ghosts, you're going to crush it in Pop 1.
Even the gun mechanics in Contractors are simplistic in comparison to Ghosts of Tabor. Ghosts of Tabor will improve your shooter game across all shooters, in my opinion.
It'll improve your real life experience if you ever stumble upon a gun.
Hell yeah.
Put an AK in your lap right now, you're going to know how to load it. Put an MP5 in your lap, you're going to know how to load it. And don't forget, if it's loaded to the top, you're going to have to pull the...
You could run actual combat drills in Ghost of Tabor with positioning and this is how we're going to breach into the
weapon
room.
Knowledge.
There's a lot of
Ghost
of Tabor is the GOAT with all that stuff.
Specific angles that you got to hold the magazine to put it in. Get the fuck out of here.
So
yeah, they corner the market on realism for gun mechanics
without a doubt. So
Contractors is pretty good as far as I mean, it doesn't take a lot. You just scoop it in, slide it in, pull back, which we're all familiar with from every other game. But
let's see after this Phoenix map mode. I'm excited for it because it sounds like it's taking Contractor Showdown and putting it in the Pop 1 engine. So I'm excited. Huge props to Big Box. And then, since we talked about Ghost of Tabor a moment ago and it's Combat Waffle Studios, man, we were talking off air. We kind of felt a little bad. We forgot to bring up Grim last week.
First time in months. And I felt really terrible about it. I'm like, I wonder if we could just do a quick recording and at least Grim and then be done, just like put it in, a little subliminal thing. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't.
We have no obligation to anybody but ourselves to talk about it.
Re-looking at my notes and shit. And I'm like, I have it like circled and
starred.
When you write over the same word like 20 million fucking times.
Bolded, essentially, like written bold.
Man. But Spoon just keeps making changes.
Yeah, I want to do my
Not
part.
changes like, the game's changing. No, just meaning like
improvements, updates.
I laugh. Yeah, I see you got to scroll.
I highly recommend going in the Grim server, if nothing else, just to see the rate of improvement and updates. Yeah, highly recommend going in their Discord server. Yeah. Just to see the rate of improvements and updates. And
they post and you can catch it on TikTok. They got videos posted. And people are streaming it.
That game is going to be so big when it drops.
Senor Tavarian. He's in
there all the time.
I don't fucking want to go in there when he's in there.
I always have a soft spot for him because he's done some nice breakdowns, cleaning his bunker while listening to our interviews with Scott.
That was really cool to see.
He's done it twice. He's done it twice.
I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, it was entertaining. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm watching a guy do his bunker while he's got us on the
TV.
Yeah, I'm pretty grateful.
Then he would like pause it and be like, "Oh my goodness, did you guys catch what that was?"
Well, that's the thing too. He's like talking to his audience as he's cleaning, and he's listening, but he's paying attention enough to know when key things are said. I give him credit, and he's a great player. So I just say, if you see him in Grim, just start running, run the other way. Nothing good's going to come of it. There's a whole bunch of players like that right now, though.
Yeah.
It's kind of evolved a little.
They're getting good quick. But I'll say again, huge thanks to Tanvarian. Anytime you want to watch our episodes and clean your bunker, be my guest.
Yeah. Clean your bunker. You can come, I'll give you my shit. You can clean mine and then give it back.
We'll wait till gun cleaning.
Could you do that? No, you can't.
No.
That's too bad, right?
Wait till gun cleaning and maintenance is a thing too. It'll be all the incentive to watch Ruff Talk VR episodes in the bunker. You know what's funny? That we've had a couple people say, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if Tobor Radio was in the game in some way?"
A channel to select to.
The most logical spot for it would actually probably be in the bunker in your armory room, because that's the most likely time that you're just going to spend. That's the most likely spot you're going to spend an hour, right?
If they gave you the option,
a little TV,
if it wasn't
like a little TV that you
wasn't
flip on.
Defaulted on. And they gave you an option. Well, here's the thing. Like, you're running on emergency power. So to me, you could only hear it because you can make a radio out of copper wire. You can only hear it if you have no power.
And then when you get the power on, then the video comes on?
You could turn on the video.
That would be so freaking cool.
But as long as it was defaulted off.
Correct.
And it's not forced, because I don't.
That doesn't seem to be the combat waffle direction to force things. You look at like the bunker cat. That's totally optional as well, too. Which they were posting.
My bunker cat. Dude.
They were posting things on social media last week. Like, hey, what improvements would you like to see come to the bunker cat? Like, hell yes, this thing's going to evolve.
I want a big climbing scratching pole.
Yeah.
So we can climb up it.
Well, oh my goodness. I guess this segues right into a talking point I wanted to do today. I love when it happens naturally. Speaking of kitty cats, speaking of cats, I saw a trailer for a game in early access. I saw on Twitter last week, and I instantly went and bought it. Like, it was a must buy for me. It's called I Am Cat. It's made by developers New Folder Games Ltd. It's available in early access. It's $14.99 on the MetaQuest, I guess technically App Lab store, but that's not going to be the case
App
for
Lab,
long.
baby. It's not going anywhere.
Dude, the trailer for it, the videos that they posted on social media were so freaking funny. I had to buy it right away. You're a cat. It's called I Am Cat. I mean, the reality is, if you were anything other than a cat, it would be disappointing. The movement system, I don't have down yet. I don't know if it's
you really just pause, though, correct? From a visual standpoint?
They're paused, but you're visually low to the freaking ground, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, at any point so far, have you seen, like, can you change the view to be, like, third person? Or?
No, not yet.
So it's all first person cat view? Okay.
And you're in this old lady's house. She's your owner. And you start the game, and, they teach you to move a bit. And again, I don't have the movement system down. It's like, just put your hand here like this and walk like a cat. And sometimes I move backwards. Sometimes I slide. I don't exactly have it, but you can pull the trigger and your claws pull out too.
How much is it?
$14.99. And then you climb stuff as well, too. So there's like scratching posts and like cat toy obstacle things that you can go into as well. So you start the game and then you get this wristwatch on your hand and on your paw, and you look at it and it's your neighborhood cat, buddy. And he's like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood, pal. And he's like, let's go, teach you how to be a cat. And it's like introduction to the house, and it has you do a bunch of cat things, like go knock off $10 off the shelf, go change the channel on the TV by clicking the remote. Just go pretty much mess with the house. Go wander
like
up to the
cat.
Yeah, so you're literally going being a cat. I probably played about an hour and a half so far, just doing the early missions, wasting a bunch of time not doing the missions, just exploring the house. I accidentally, I think, killed my owner last night. I knocked her over. Poor old lady. She didn't get back up. I was like, oh no. But then I
asked you if you could eat her lips.
Yeah, I tried.
Can you eat her face?
I tried to claw a little bit too, break up the meat a bit. But then I looked at my wristwatch and my buddy called again, my neighbor cat buddy. He's like, hey, just so you know, you did all of your tasks for today. And it's funny, if things look too broken, just go to bed. And then you wake up and everything's fixed. And there's a little cat bed that you can go into. And then you go to bed and it resets the living room, or your not living room, your house. So it's all clean and organized and back again, ready for the next set of missions. So a lot of potential with it. It's just silly fun.
So early access.
Yep. I felt like for early access, I'll be honest with you, maybe $9.99 would have been.
That's where I was going.
A better price point, and then full release $14.99. But that's also, I get it. People need to make money. It's pretty the only part I had trouble with was the walking. I didn't have any glitches.
Well, you're not a cat.
That's what I was saying last night. Yeah. I've never been a cat before. And you know what's funny? I was getting better at it. I was like, I'm learning how to walk like a cat. You can double paw, and then you jump in the air too. And again, you can climb on stuff, climb up the wall, climb up your scratching post, go explore. It's a lot of silly fun.
I think I only have like $5 credit.
Maybe I'll send you a 25% referral. It reminded me of like an Alchemy Labs game, just as a cat. It's just so interactable. I mean, hey, I don't want to insult Alchemy Labs too, in the sense that maybe they play it and they go, this would not be up to our standards.
Yeah,
but
I haven't played it. I'm not saying nothing.
It has that silly, goofy, fun feel. It's very rare I see a trailer and instantly buy, right in that moment.
Yeah,
so,
no, I was kind of shocked when you
Dude, it's called I Am Cat. I get
when you said you were getting it, and I'm like, interesting.
The trailer sold me.
I saw the trailer, and then I was like, okay. I in my visual sense, I'm like, you are the paws and the leg, the front of the cat, and you are wreaking havoc, like a cat probably would, or most do.
The knocking the books off the bookshelf as a mission confirms that to me. Yeah. Yes. I've only seen the beginning.
I'm just curious what makes it $14.99. Is it the amount of content that's in it? Is there really a lot of content? Is it just the early investment into the futures?
Is it all?
Sometimes I like not owning the game where you own it, because then I can cherry pick it's easy when you play something, you go, dude, I fucking totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't on the outside in, that's when you start asking the questions like, well, what makes it $14.99?
And I wonder how much of it is like, example, pre-made assets versus in-house studio-made visuals to make it optimized to run, in which case I can see why, look, we had to pay our graphic artists a lot,
I might get it, and then we can have maybe a different conversation next week,
Well, again, I even said right at the start, maybe $9.99 for early access would have been a better price, and then $14.99 or $19.99 for full release.
They're going in some monster direction with it, where $14.99 is going to look like a steal,
right? So this isn't even the surface of it. So let's see. I just see a lot of potential for it, enough so that just off the video, I had to go grab
Get to knock up the neighbor cat and have little kittens. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can do with it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows? I love that your owner's an old lady, though. It's like, this is so fitting. Her whole house is obsessed with cats, too. Cat paintings on the wall.
Stereotypical.
Yes.
Except there's not 100.
I love it.
First thing I'm going to do is kill the old lady.
I don't know if I killed her or just knocked her out, but she wasn't getting back up. Then I went over and I clawed her face a little bit. Nothing happened, but I tried.
Fuck that lady up. I'm the most rotten cat. I'm a wild cat.
Dude, it's too much fun. You get into character. I think you'll have fun with. I think you'll have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Well, I mean, I got 2 cats. So
well, you've had cats.
I'm living a dream. So
you've had cats your whole life. There's going to be a spot where you're like, it's not emotional or anything like that, but you're going to be like, this is really freaking cool. I am my cat right now.
I totally get why they're jerks. Totally get it.
Well, dude, it might be their mission to go knock shit off the shelf. It makes sense.
Imprinted in them. Fuck with everything.
There was one point where I was having trouble getting on top of the shelf to knock over the last books. So instead of just like walking into them, pushing them off, you know how sometimes you see cats like push at something to knock it off?
Yeah.
That's what I was doing to knock off the book.
Smack.
That's how I was knocking things off the edge because I had to. I was like, dude, this is 100% what's going on. They have a mission. They have to knock over 10 shit over today before the end of it. And yes, they're going to go to bed. They're going to wake up. It's all going to be fixed because your ass cleaned it up. So
what's really awesome is somewhere in an alternate universe, there's 2 cats talking about how cool it is that they can pretend to be humans. That's fucking awesome, dude.
So cool stuff. And then another one that's pretty cool. Beat Saber. They announced their next original soundtrack, OST 7, is coming soon.
I love when they do that.
Yeah. That's cool about Beat Saber. They have all rhythm games do this, that they have their in-game tracks and then their additional DLC purchase ones. But what makes Beat Saber special is that they've continued to add to the soundtracks that come with the game. You know, that's huge.
Them and Synth Riders just crush it in the musical department.
Mm-hmm. And Smash Drums is creeping up with a
They're
third.
doing all right.
Yeah, they've entered that, but definitely Beat Saber and Synth Riders really set the standard. So
dude,
to
I
say.
was a little. I don't even know if we covered it, if we missed it, because it can't be like yesterday's news. But when I went into Unplugged and saw that there was the Pantera DLC, I'm like, what?
I think back in like December or November, they add like 100 songs or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
let me go.
It was like 6, I think 6 new albums and shit.
Yeah, I'll go on their Discord because it's funny. I was on their Discord like last week and I just saw this too.
The Pantera pack. That wasn't sight unseen by.
I went on their Discord and there was like a post from a year ago with an update of like adding so much more content. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I just feel sad sometimes. I don't jump in something for freaking months and months, and then I'm like, oh my god.
I think Unplugged is one of the best.
Would have been all over this.
One of the best rhythm games. Kind of floats under the radar.
Beat Saber is my number one.
Yeah, so huge props to Beat Saber. Still dropping OST song packs. I'll dig up. Oh, here's the Unplugged.
No biggie.
Discord. I'm already there at this point. They announced 25 plus new songs, not 100. 25 plus new songs and 30 new guitars and 40 new picks back in December of 2022, a year and a half ago. Shame on us.
I think they give you the Dimebags guitar when you get the Pantera pack. There's cool. still other ones to unlock from Pantera, but you do get Dime. I saw him in concert, dude.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, so when they were small.
Huge props to Beat Saber continuing to expand their original soundtrack library. And then just a quick one that was shown off last week. SideQuest, they did an indie showcase highlighting some of their, more popular or some of their favorite games on the SideQuest library.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. And it came with some updates or some news regarding like a Minecraft-esque game called QuestCraft. That's getting a 5.0 version with Quest 3 support and updates and all that jazz. So if you didn't check it out, go check out the SideQuest Indie Showcase. I love myself a good VR gaming showcase.
Well, it's just more exposure for everyone. So
yep, that's part of the reason that we put
the more the merrier.
Put on the Ruff Talk VR gaming showcase because we love them.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't lie, about halfway through their showcase, I was like, I cannot wait for our 2025 one. So that got me hyped for our next showcase. And it's just always cool to see these games highlighted in the VR industry. So again, if you didn't check it out, check out the SideQuest Indie VR Gaming Showcase. And then, I love this one. Sin Studio. They announced that they secured $2.5 million in funding for their new VR PvP game coming out. Sin Studio is the maker of Swordsman VR.
We got to tap into their brain, figure out how we could get funding for the podcast.
They're really good at that stuff.
Dude, I'm not going to lie. I mean, some people are just good at it. They know what to do. They know how to do it. There's some people that we've talked to that have done it multiple times when it was unheard of and still pulled it in. But $2.5 million, we'd be good. I mean, realistically, right?
Well, that the reason they're securing 2.5 in funding, that's not money that's for free. They got to pay that all back. I don't know if our podcast will make 2.5 million.
I don't know.
Back to secure back to them.
It's a real who's to say.
If you go check out the announcement of it too, they slip in some numbers of how much they made with Swordsman VR in revenue, and it's very easy to see why they were able to get 2.5 mil in funding. Dude. Huge props to them, dude. That's huge. I'm excited for their new sword fighting game. What I'm curious about is, PvP is the only one I've seen done successfully was Iron Lights, which had your swords break after every hit. Broken Edge too, they did a similar thing. I'm curious the mechanic that Sin Studio brings to balance sword fighting in VR to stop that, just waving your hands like crazy effect. It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what comes.
I love the studio. We know this.
One of the best studios, if you ask me.
I almost wish they would have gone a different direction than sword fighting.
Because they're so good at it?
Well, for what they did, it was great. So now I'm going to be like, so what are they going to do that's going to be great, but that's going to bring a different element?
PvP.
And could have done that with your first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely not shitting on it. I'm trying to be careful so it doesn't come across that way. But it's I wish they could take that same energy they put into that. Mm-hmm. And it's a really good, dude, it was a great product on day one. Right?
It's only gotten better.
100%. So if they just went a totally different direction, because I feel like no matter what they do, they're going to do good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to bring a good experience to the table. So I am watching though is this just going to be 2.0? Or is this going to be a totally different feel? Like you said, how are they going to counteract people from just windmill slicing and spinning around in a circle,
Let's see. But if anybody
I'm
can
excited.
do it,
yeah, exactly.
For sword fighting, it's Sin Studio, but I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, I've got concern.
Well, not even concern. It's just they're so talented and they're so good at what they do. Like you said, if they could take that same energy and innovate, and to me, there's not another sword fighting simulator like Swordsman VR. There's physics simulators. That's what Blade and Sorcery is. It's a combat physics simulator. No game has nailed that sword fighting realism like Swordsman VR. So let's see what they bring in their next yet to be named game, but 2.5 million in funding. That's pretty good. That gives me faith that this game is going to come out. It's going to be something. And then in other news, Demeo, Demeo is officially out now on the Apple Vision Pro. So for the 12 people
that makes total sense to have it.
That play games, that'll be huge for them. No, but I love to see Resolution already has 2 titles on the Apple Vision Pro because they have that game room title.
Yep.
That dropped with the
headset. I'm jealous we don't have.
Dude.
I'm not going to lie.
That would work on the Quest 3.
That one feels like a bee sting.
To me, there's no reason that can't be on the Quest 3. I even claim
why wouldn't it be?
That's a game that should come with the headset. A social platform to play with your friends. Utilize the meta avatars, just play some checkers, play some basic chess. Hell yeah.
I think Walkabout's the ultimate come with standard, no frills, you get
Walkabout's part of that Quest Plus library. Mm-hmm. That's huge. If you get that Quest Plus subscription, you get Walkabout Mini Golf.
Yeah, dude, that's ridiculous.
And Red Matter.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, you can come out of the gate now with some beasts.
For your library, yeah.
Yeah. It's
100%.
not even funny. Enough to keep you occupied for months and months.
So huge props to Resolution Games continuing to bring their games to really all platforms, and two apps now on the Apple Vision Pro. That's really cool. And then a game that's coming out this week, May 30th, I'm so excited for, MudRunner VR. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but it's an upcoming one. It's coming up this week, so I cannot wait to check it out. I even think I saw, who was it, Inferno or Chad in our Discord saying how excited they were for it.
I think Inferno.
I think it was Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a game up your alley.
But I could see, any driving game
Dude.
I'm gonna love. But these in particular, I've got a couple of versions on Steam. I got one, and then flat screen,
like Xbox.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's called Mud Runner. Though.
There is a Mud Runner flat screen series though, so but it's possible.
I don't think it is though.
But anytime, dude, the amount of times you've come over and talked about the latest sim game that you've dove into that is almost essentially what Mud Runner VR looks like.
Yeah, this is gonna crush it, dude. But it's not for everybody. It's muddy. You're not gonna move fast. And it's the way it is
for those sim market people. I feel like the type of
truck lover, son. Love your fucking truck.
People like
got
you.
Shits to do in the mud.
You'll play a sim of anything. You want farming sim in VR so bad.
I want farming sim in VR, and I want it done by farming sim. You know, I want it done by the people who do it the best. There's so many like other type farming games, and trust me, I own them all. Okay, even the ones that are rated shit. I'm like, I'll buy it just because I want to see. I'm that hooked on them. But what makes it so special is the multiplayer aspect. When you can have, you know, a ton of people freaking working the farm.
Which,
dude, the fields are huge.
Yeah, farm
so
work.
You don't want to do it all yourself.
Farm work, you need hands on.
I'm sowing a seed or a field and getting it all ready. I need somebody coming behind me and planting the seeds, and then I need somebody coming behind them and water, and then we need some fertilizer. Then we need somebody to grab the combine and start getting the corn. Hear it start coming. The accent's coming. That's that's going to kill all my time for a long time if they really, really come out with a true farming sim.
Well, I'll give you props.
Multiplayer.
I'll give you props for being an advocate of all of these working in VR for years. And now we're finally seeing more and more of these start to come out.
Man, they're made for VR.
But we're seeing them now. We're seeing them come to VR. Finally, but you've been...
Dude, the Sims, who pound for pound, these people know how to put the squeeze on the consumer. Because, I mean, you even look at the Sims, it costs you $4.99, right?
Sims 2 and Sims 3 weren't really bad with, you know, over squeezing. There were a lot of DLCs, but it was better. Sims 4 is ruthless.
Hundreds.
Ruthless. Sims 4 is ruthless. I don't even touch it. And I had every Sims.
But let's be honest. If they came to VR,
yeah, I would love it. I would love it.
Right? Sim City. The
Sims is on consoles.
Yeah.
It always has been.
I have it on Xbox.
I love The Sims. I grew up playing The Sims.
I have it on Steam also.
That's a great series.
There's so many dude, the fact that Sim City is not in VR.
Not yet.
Is because they were the originators. I mean, they were in schools, man. School computers would let kids play it. Gonna learn about economics today.
Here's the reality, though. The 2 times I've seen EA do something on the Quest, I'm not impressed. We've seen Grid Legends and we've seen Medal of Honor.
You know, Medal of Honor sucked, right?
No, Medal of Honor story mode was good.
Yeah, it just the
multiplayer.
The multiplayer was a disaster.
But I will say,
I'll argue too the NPC placement of how they came in.
The story mode.
No, does not work at all like that. Uncool. I shouldn't be facing forward and then right behind me, something that wasn't there now pops up. Disagree with that.
I agree, but the story mode was good. I had fun.
Grid
with it.
Legends driving mechanics. It's freaking great,
but
man.
It was a half-ass port with
the visuals. I just love racing games, so I was happy to.
But that was another one with good story mode. Both of those are really good story modes. Both of those are good story modes,
and I love the online racing, dude.
But so far, my point being, are EA's efforts in Quest VR. It's like they put out titles with no commitment. That's my impression.
Well, they're flat screen,
so they bring the Sims or the Sim City over. Oof, because they own Maxis, you know.
I question sometimes if the bigger studios try to take the easier route to getting a game in VR.
Hell yeah, they do.
Looking for as much like emulators as they can, whatever, you know.
Hell yeah, they do.
Versus
That's how it feels.
Like starting from the ground up and really putting their.
The one that I'll give props to is
Ubisoft crushed it.
For Assassin's Creed Nexus. They're the one that really built a VR game from the ground up. Wish I was giving
shout out to Rockstar.
Maybe one day. They've never said it's not coming. It's just they never.
Dude, it's just a unicorn at this point.
Pepperidge Farms remembers that Mark Zuckerberg.
Pepperidge Farms remembers Mark. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
I remember too. That was probably. It was the most scripted. I don't remember if it was a Connect or a gaming showcase, but it was so scripted in the conversations and the dialogues. Since they've moved forward with Zuckerberg's keynote speeches and also having Ruth Bram host those things, it's been so much more organic and better. No news on a MetaQuest Gaming Showcase this year, though. They're just hyping up the Summer Game Fest where they're going to be showing off more info on Batman VR, but I love the MetaQuest Gaming Showcase. Where is it? Let's get one this year, baby. There's so many games coming out. Just make an hour of the 1 minute clips that already exist.
I'm sure they're working on something.
There's so many freaking games coming out.
I wouldn't be upset if they were like, you know what? We get so much good publicity from other people doing showcases. Let's just. But I agree. I love
their in-house one though.
Their level of production is undeniably better than.
You go to the coming soon section of. Go to the coming soon section of the store. 1 minute to 90-second trailer of each one of those games, and you got a showcase with a little bit of Ruth Bram talking in between. Boom, there we go. That's all we need. I mean, I would like some more like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Don't get me wrong, but I hope they don't can it. I love the gaming showcase. So
it's buried. Let's
see, or they can talk to your boys who rolled out with a great one. If you ask me, with their Ruff Talk VR gaming showcase this past year, you could always have us host it. I'm just saying.
Their level of production, man, what they got in house is
a little again, step above us. But fly us out, have us, just saying.
Closest I think I'd get would be like a tour of the headquarters and maybe seeing the studio in which they film in.
And then since you mentioned Grid Legends, I did see an upcoming game coming out in June in early access called Downtown Club Racing.
All over it, dude.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks like really good physics. That's kind of an element of it that they're hyping up that differentiates their game from other racing games, which we didn't see.
They all say that.
Yeah, but this one looks like, I know, but this one looks like
Gran Turismo owns it. All the others just wish they could.
Yeah, unfortunately not on the Quest. So let's see. This one has a weird price probably. I don't know if there's a typo, but it's $15.99, not $14.99, $15.99.
Love it.
I'm excited though. Downtown Club Racing coming in early access next month. I'll grab that.
When's Need for Speed coming, dude?
Yeah, right. That's another EA one. So, but Downtown Club Racing is definitely going to be a day one buy for me. And then another game that came out last week that we might or might not have an interview with this developer coming up. Let's see. It's called Ventures Gauntlet. It's made by developer Bearhammer Games. It dropped on App Lab for $9.99. So I checked it out. We went and did the first obstacle course. I was expecting it to be like a 5-minute little thing, pretty easy. I thought I was going to get decent time. Dude, it took me like 20 minutes, 21 minutes, something like that. It's a huge freaking obstacle course.
Yeah, it's huge.
And then they give you the rankings based off of your time.
It's a workout app.
Yeah.
Disguised as a
obstacle course.
And
I only did the first one, but I did know archery and stuff like that, which I know is in the game. It just has to be in the other courses that I have yet to unlock and do. So even more elements of the game I've yet to check out, but really, really good potential just off of that first obstacle course. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. I remember there's a point in the calibration where they had you put your arms out and then squat, and you go, is this a fitness game? And I go, no, it's an obstacle course. And then I saw how you move, which is by swinging your arms like this.
No, I run.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's how I did it. That's how I do it. Yeah.
No gorilla tag here.
And then from there, the show begins. I mean, you got to climb, duck, dodge, wait for the proper timing, swing.
Only thing that I can't figure out is the time stop where you slow down time.
Yep.
Like,
when would you use it?
I know when to use it, but like, what's the point? Because like,
you can't react faster.
I still go slow.
Yeah.
So like the lasers are shooting at me and time moves slow, but I can't outrun them.
Yeah.
And I'm at
now I just watch myself fail in slow.
And round 2 starts off with a very aggressive thing going on, and I can't even get past the first thing because I'm like, not really sure how to utilize this ability.
There's times that lasers are shooting at you, and you have to make it to the next like blocking area before they actually hit you and launch it. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of potential for it, and for $9.99, it's a steal. I was guessing $14.99, so when I saw $9.99, I was like, okay.
So far, I'm having fun.
It's not like it's just one course.
I'm trying to do a course a day, so
it's huge too. Like the courses are big.
It's not a 5-minute run.
What's cool is instantly when I was done, I was like, I could easily shave a lot of time off of my run just because I failed so many times trying to.
Well, and there's some elements that you're not used to and you're not 100% on when you go running up to it. So you take a second where you're looking around versus by the end, if it's like, if I saw a rope, I know to climb it. And they also give you kind of a choose your own adventure aspect to it, which is like wicked appreciative.
You get two options of which way you want to go.
The end game's going to be the same, but
here's two routes.
Do you want to go this way or do you want to go that way? Each is, I remember spending like looking at the one on the right and being like, nope, not the one I want to do. I'm taking an easier route up. Still had to go on it, but just a different route to get there. So I enjoy that aspect.
And then if you go into your settings, you have the option of having no ghost runner, or you can set it so your personal best time of that course runs alongside with you running at the speed it did for that time. So you can kind of race it. Or you can set it so the best time from the leaderboard is the one that you're racing as a ghost. So that way you have a physical representation of the time.
Did it.
Yep. Yeah. As well, you can just make it so a random leaderboard time comes up as the ghost runner. So it's not like you're always just facing the best person.
Well, you always got to face someone better than you, though.
You would think, but I don't know when it says
what's
random.
What's the point of like?
I know.
You get anybody under you, you're never going to see them.
Hey, I got a couple questions for the developer. One of those being that, and then I also want to know, it's probably my only complaint that there's no smooth turn, only snap turn.
Not happy about that, dude.
But other than that, great game for $9.99, loads of content.
Do not like snap turn at all.
Don't think that you're going to go in and beat a course in 5 minutes. They're huge. So keep that in mind as you do, as you time your gameplay session.
Yeah, and understand you're going to be moving your hands above your head, to the sides, you're
swinging,
gonna be squatting, you're going to be, like running movements with your
I was feeling
arms.
It in my arms by the end, without a doubt.
Dude, 20 minutes is a long time.
And there was this monkey bar area. I kept failing after the monkey bars, but if I failed after the monkey bars, it made me do the monkey bars again.
The rings felt smooth.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, really good mechanics in the game. So cool stuff. So no ads for now. No more Manscaped for now. But we still got to give a shout out to our Patreon supporters that out of the kindness of their heart, continue to support us month after month. So huge shout out to the Patreon supporters on our on-air shout out tier. We have Asim, Amelia, Aspire Mike, T Peasy, Jake, Carson, Earth Witness, Crispy, and Shoes. So huge thank you to all of you, like I said, that continue to support month after month. If you want to hear your name on that list too, go check out the link in our show notes to go check out our Patreon, which we have other tiers besides the on-air shout-out tier. But all of the tiers, they give you access to an exclusive chat room in our Discord server as well, which I say it week after week. That's the place to be. That's the VR community that I hype up, that I love. Obviously, I'm biased, right? But lots of good VR discussion, life discussion, food discussion, book discussion, music discussion. Shoes runs giveaways. Amelia does game meetups. King Canucks also crushing it as a mod in there. So go check out the Ruff Talk VR Discord. If you're a member of the Patreon, you get access to an exclusive channel in our Discord server as well. And speaking of Shoes as well, I do want to give a little shout out. He wrote an article that's available on the Ruff Talk VR website that lists and ranks the top Epic Roller Coasters DLCs. And there's also an accompanying video with it that he did in collaboration with a YouTuber that he links in that article as well too. If you're more of a video person than an article person, he has both mediums available for you. So if you go to rufftalkvr.com, you check out the latest article. It'll be a Epic Roller Coaster ranking article from Shoes. Go check that out, and also check out the little video that he did as a collaborative effort with it as well too. Shoes is crushing it. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, is Shoes dabbling into VR content creation? But no, just collaboration for now. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if one day we see a Shoes VR YouTube channel. That would be cool, right? So cool stuff. Huge props again to Shoes for all he does in our Discord server. And then last week we talked about Aspire 1 getting a new DLC. And it officially dropped. Last week we didn't have a price point or anything like that, but it's out now for $5. A steal. If you're a fan of Aspire 1, new missions.
Pretty much giving it away.
Right? Well, dude, the fact that this is coming to Aspire 1 and it's not an update for Aspire 2, you know, Aspire Mike's a gangster. So if you're a fan of Aspire 1, you wanted a little bit more content. There wasn't enough in that already loaded game. Get this bonus content for $5. Go support a great dev studio. And then there was a game last week that came out that I didn't check out yet. So I want to make sure to check it out so we can talk about it a bit next week. It's single player and it's multiplayer. Tank Arena Ultimate League. I'm so excited to check this one out. Like I said, no thoughts on it yet because I haven't hopped in, but I'll make sure to hop into it this week to check it out next, or to talk about it a bit next week.
I hopped in. I won't say anything until you hop in it, and we can actually play together. I've got some thoughts.
I feel like any one of these games are going to be better multiplayer and co-op. So I want to check it out single player, but then definitely I want to check it out multiplayer before I share any thoughts, positive or negative, because that's not really being fair to them. So if you've checked it out, though, let us know in the YouTube and our Discord, you know, your thoughts so far on Tank Arena Ultimate League. And then another cool one, Unknown Lands. It's a game made by studio Bugby Studios. It's out now on the MetaQuest. It's a new story-driven puzzle action-adventure game, it said. I was checking out the trailer. I didn't see any puzzles in it, but, you know, puzzles are kind of a hard thing to show off in a trailer because you're kind of giving spoilers on the puzzle just by showing it. But I'm always down for these narrative story action-adventure games, so I'll definitely check it out.
And $20 is a reason. I mean, if it's at least as long as a movie or longer, then $20 is all right with me.
Yeah, I think I forgot to say the price, so thank you for mentioning that. $20 on the MetaQuest store. I don't think I've ever seen any work by Bugby Studios before, so this will be kind of the break the ice
Just
for
like the name Bugby.
I do too. I'm a little biased towards it. I'm glad you said that.
I work for Bugby.
And then Mixed Realms, the developer of Hellsweeper VR, they tease that they have some more updates coming soon for Hellsweeper VR, which is pretty impressive. That's
good.
That's a great game that has
good.
Continued to show more and more updates.
As long as they keep just doing little, even if it's little drops at a time, they'll keep their audience nice and happy. But you got, you know, beasts like Amelia who just run rampant through that game. So
that game and After the Fall, I don't know how she does those difficulties. And like,
so it's like you need to keep people like her busy
fed and happy with it. Yeah.
Yes, because if there's something new, she's going to do it and she's going to get it and she's going to accomplish it. And then I'll get a photo of it usually. And I'll be like, damn, man.
Well,
crushes it at that game.
How about, you know, that's a great example of what you do in your previous games convinces me going forward. If I ever see a game come out from Mixed Realms, I have faith it's going to be good, but I also know it's not going to be abandoned when it comes out. They're clearly a studio that brings new content, updates, you know, so huge props to them. That's another Vertigo Games published game as well, too, but developed by developer Mixed Realms. They had one of my favorite videos on the Ruff Talk VR gaming showcase as well, too. So this is a cool one. I love the studio. Arcaxer, too. They have a demo available now on SideQuest of Arcaxer 2, the sequel to Arcaxer. We've talked to them, 3 times now? I think so far. They might be one of our most interviewed guests. Like Walkabout Mini Golf is our most interviewed studio on the Ruff Talk VR. Combat Waffle Studios wins because of Tabor Radio. But on Ruff Talk VR, Mighty Coconut's probably our most interviewed studio. But for the same people being on the podcast, I think the developers of Arcaxer win that award. But I loved Arcaxer. It's a...
I don't know. I think we're tied with Scott.
Scott, we've had on twice.
All right.
Then, if I'm correct, we've had them on 3 times. If we've only had them on twice, then it's even. Let's see. We have to go back.
Can't even remember, dude.
Right, dude? Like over 300 episodes. It's a lot. It's been a. Oh my goodness, we had our 3-year anniversary last week as well too. So 3 years of Ruff Talk VR. Woo! And ain't going anywhere, baby.
LinkedIn. You know how like LinkedIn's not the most robust in likes and stuff, but yet everyone posts on LinkedIn. It's rare when I'll post something and it gets a lot of likes, but I just posted a pretty generic, 3-year anniversary, going strong, not stopping, no breaks, which is true. We haven't taken a break in 3 years.
Never missed a week.
No, haven't missed a week, and it got a lot of love. So I'm like, the algorithm must be rewarding us for the word 3 years. But
well, we've even had situations which one of these might be coming up soon where we have to miss a week of recording. So what do? Double up the weeks leading up to it.
Yay.
Bank 2 interviews and not miss a week of content. We're crazy, man. We're absolutely nuts. And it's been 3 years of craziness to see the evolution of the show.
Through illness, through everything.
I never thought remote episodes. I never thought we would have a community like we have. The Ruff Talk VR community is amazing. You know, the VR community as a whole is so welcoming. There's been so many cool experiences. So much that's come out of the podcast. It's been an awesome 3 years, and I'm excited for, you know, what's coming up in the future. So I forgot how we got on that. Oh yeah, Arcaxer too. Talking about 3 years, 300 episodes. No, huge props to them for putting out a demo of Arcaxer 2. I loved Arcaxer 1, and I'm excited to check out the second one. Maybe we can even get them back on again just to talk about this sequel. Dude, if you like those JRPGs and you haven't checked out Arcaxer 1, I recommend hopping in now with the sequel coming out, what looks like pretty soon. And then another game that I love, a game made by developer VR Monkey. Come on, great studio name, Skyclimb. They just got a new update called a Hands and Multiplayer update, which adds a new multiplayer shooting mode, as well as new in-game hands and some other pieces of content too. So I love Skyclimb, love the studio.
Oh, when we talked to them, they made it clear they were going to be working on some stuff, and it's coming. And weren't they the ones who said if they say it, they're doing it?
I think so.
We've had a few say that, and I like when they say that. So it's good to see this coming.
Yeah. I love them. You know, great Brazilian developers. Huge props to them.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, they have that gorilla tag movement, but you propel yourself up, not like launch yourself forward. It's much more springy. They did it really well.
Launch forward.
And we were playing it single player before, so I'm excited for. Remember, they only had like that multiplayer game mode that you needed X amount of people loaded into. I'm excited to try this multiplayer shooting mode for sure. And then last piece of news, Capy Oasis. It's a new game made by developer Soaring Rock Studio. It's available in early access on the Quest for, check this, $5. And it's like a sandbox.
$4.99?
$4.99, $5, yeah.
It's less than $5.
And it's a sandbox game of like owning and caring for capybaras, which anybody that played Green Hell VR, you know, they set the standard, in my opinion, for, not set the standard, introduced the VR community to the love of capybaras, and
which is a animal. Just
yes. So, if anybody's like, what the fuck is a capybara?
It means nothing to me. Looks like a groundhog meets a pig.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I never heard of it before Green Hell VR. That's why I made that reference. And now we have a whole VR game dedicated to raising them and caring for them. But
dude, can you eat them?
We were just talking about this last week. Like, VR is a great medium for these type of animal caring games, like Nintendogs, cats, dogs, that type of stuff. Hello Dot. You know, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, that's a demo.
Well, I think it's more early access than demo. I'm excited to see where that one goes to. So huge props to Soaring Rock Studio for $5 for Capy Oasis. And it sounds, since it's in early access, sounds like a lot more is going to come to the game. I doubt $5 is going to be the final price. Like when all the content and it's fully released.
Then get it now, folks.
Right? I don't know that. I'm speculating, but I see $5. I'm like, dude, $5? Yeah, I'll probably pick it up. So huge props to them. So that's all the news for this week. I actually did have one more about Warhammer 40K Space Marine VR. It's coming to VR arcades through a company called Full Latency VR this October. I've never really checked out VR arcades, but hell, if there's a Full Latency VR near us, maybe that's good reason to. So that's all the news for today. It's hot as hell here in New England. I am sweating. We shut our fan off right before I started. I was fighting all the urge to just take off my shirt, which would work fine if we were audio only. Unfortunately, I don't think YouTube would like the hairy nipples on the screen. So
I don't think anybody wants hairy nipples. I don't.
So that was a war to make it through, but we survived the heat. We've done it. Great week of content. Interviews coming this week. We're back in full schedule, baby. It's on. Great stuff coming in 2024. And just to wrap up the show, I want to give a huge thanks to Shell Games.
Yeah, man.
For sending us probably, I don't want to say the best, but one of the best.
No, it's up there.
It's hard to pick a best. That's why I can't say the best.
Flower pot one was really cool, too.
When I opened up the box of it last night, and then I sent a picture of it to you and sent it to you, and I was like, I'm not opening this till you get here tomorrow. When I opened up that box, my girlfriend goes, That's a freaking cool one.
Yeah.
So do you want to grab the little coffin box that they sent us? They sent us this nice little swag box for Silent Slayer, their upcoming game. That's
should say before we break out the goods, it came with this beautiful
written on cotton, like
looks
cloth.
like it's written on old school cotton paper. It's got like the burnt edge, so you know it's aged, giving you a little bit of the.
It came in a nice wax sealed envelope as well, and then it came with this coffin that was wrapped in a chain with a lock on it that we had to a giant padlock on it that
like
we had
metal,
to open it.
A metal pad. Oh, I have the padlock.
And I think there's the chain right there as well too.
Yep. It's attached to it in case we got to chain up any.
Oh, I'm 100% reusing this coffin as well. You brought
the chain is plastic. The lock is metal, but it's like an old school lock.
Yep, and it came with a key that we had to use to open it, and I was 100% expecting a vampire, like
we were
little
prepared
doll
for
to
a
pop
jump
out of
scare.
there. Yeah, but
And
instead,
we got the two shirts.
And oh, dude, how cool was it? The key was in this thing. The key's in this skull holder, and this key goes right in that drawer. So a whole bunch of stuff I'll reuse. I mean, you brought the I Expect You to Die suitcase from Shell Games, 2 packs. We were already saying things that we could store in this suitcase. They also gave us this nice black wax candle, a nice stress squeeze coffin right here. So bunch of cool stuff in the swag box from Shell Games. I love the suitcase though. Definitely going to reuse it. So huge thanks to them.
It was good for packs. Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, Silent Slayer is available for pre-order now for 10% off if you pre-order. So coming out next month. We talked about it last week. One of the best mixed reality trailers I think I've ever seen. So has there been a bad Shell Games game yet?
No.
I mean, come on.
I'll ride them till the end of time for Expect You to Die.
Mm-hmm. And you see us rocking the Silent Slayer shirts. Look at those. Sweet.
Dude, it's wicked comfortable too.
So we got to wrap
Makes
this
me an
video.
official vampire killer.
Right?
I'm official.
I'm going to stab those mofos through the heart.
Love
wherever
the
it
skull
goes.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's got fangs and everything.
It's so good.
It's legit. That's a dead vampire.
A whole bunch of fun stuff today. We got to wrap it up because we got an interview starting shortly. We're back on the time schedule grind, but you know what? That means 2 episodes this week, so stay tuned for that. If you like this episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars. As always, like I said earlier, check out the Ruff Talk VR Discord. Check out the Ruff Talk VR Patreon. Subscribe on YouTube. I already said that. Your favorite podcast platform. What else am I missing? Brush your teeth. I don't know. Drink lots of water. Stay cool. There's heat waves coming. Anything else we missed this week? Anything else you want to say before we wrap this baby up?
Nope.
Awesome. So stay tuned for the interview later this week, and maybe we'll have some cool news next week of some stuff coming in 2024 as well. So hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and check you out next time. Ciao, ciao.